You're with me, the endless experience, here on 94.4 FM, your city, your station, Salford City Radio. And you're listening to the Sophie Remand Show. Dorina is our guest, who's telling us of her bad experiences with a certain social services team, who we cannot name for legal reasons. But Dorina wishes to share her story, as she feels there may be people out there who may have had the same experience as her. Her book, Libel, may be published soon, where she gives a more full account of her story.
When they were revising the new Mental Health Act 2007, this concern was voiced in the House of Lords. They were talking about what power to give them if they make the claim that their interest is to help the patient. And one of the Lords stood up and said, that's very open to abuse. How do we know they haven't just invented the lot of it?
Now, you've been campaigning to get this law changed, that the professionals would have to have...
this amendment put into the Mental Health Act.
Yes. The professionals would have to have evidence to say...
They've got to try to get it.
Yeah, do the best to get it.
It might be difficult, but if they can easily get it, they're not to downright refuse to try, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Was he ever sectioned in the end?
No. Well, the solicitor phoned up my doctor, and the doctor said they weren't going to. It wasn't realistic. What social workers were trying to do, they weren't going to sign it.
Right.
And one doctor said to the solicitor, well, we want to know when the ambulance was going to come. And one doctor said to the solicitor, and he said it sarcastically, what ambulance? But people are not to think that means they're always safe. A whole team can go wrong. And when I went to see what she wrote in the notes about me, I had a terrible shock. She said she had written in the notes in my history that I'd once before been admitted into hospital under a section of the Mental Health Act. And I hadn't at all. That's absolute rubbish. It took them 3 years to correct that. And during that time, I had I was being made ill with it. I was being made a nervous wreck with it. But it wouldn't have bothered me if I had been. It's not shameful. It's not an illness. But my point was, I very much feared that I might get the wrong treatment due to a wrong history. Now, it also took them 3 years to correct another mistake. And those were the only two that were. It was also frustrating because it was also provable, and the whole lot of it could have been put right in a week. But letters got lost and goodness knows what. And
how long was he in hiding?
Oh, only a few days. I'm talking now about...
Before it was safe for you to come out?
Yes, after I came out, I came to have a look at the notes, and I saw all the mistakes she'd written, just line after line, everything wrong in it.
And how did you feel?
Well, very shocked that she could manage to dream. Did she dream that up, or did she just go by what Paul Stalker all said? Wherever did she get it all from? But the mistake, which I really think was the worst, it's only opinion, but the way she was just recklessly making statements that what I had said about this stalker was libel. It was contradicting very much a statement my solicitor made about it. He said it wasn't libel. It's much easier to get one to say that something isn't than that it is. And it is definitely a lawyer, ultimately a judge, that says what's libel. And most certainly it's not a social worker to say, that, and yet she was most adamant about it. I very much feared that her writing that in the report was going to do some damage. Anyone reading it will think that she had a clear-cut case and it was confirmed by a solicitor, that I was just recklessly writing anything. Nothing could have been more to the contrary. I was getting legal advice and carefully getting witnesses, sometimes putting it in writing for me, keeping record of everything that happened and most accurate with it. There was even at one point a private detective involved. But she was just recklessly writing anything about me. My mother said throughout all of it, everything here is back to front. She was so convinced that it was libel, what I had written, that she asked for an urgent visit from a psychiatrist. The emergency was that Stalker, that's what I'm calling the stalker, had been slandered. She wrote in the report, The psychiatrist had to travel 8 miles to see me. It has to be someone who knows you, so he came from where I used to live. It was the day after I'd been calling after it in the street, never come to this house again.
So you tell more of this story in your book, don't you, libel?
Yes, I do, yes.
Yeah.
About how it was. She had a hang-up about the subject of libel. She wrote all that about me and then developed a hang-up about...
Did you feel very insecure when you came out of hiding?
Oh, terrible. I've never felt safe since.
Yeah. What about your mother? What happened to your mother while you went in hiding? Was she safe? Because
No, she went somewhere else.
Yeah, because she said that she had dementia when there was no proof of the fact that she had
No.
dementia. She hadn't got
completely
completely sound mind, because she wrote a will that time as well, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was making other... But she was making dealing with other documents as well.
So what happened? Now, you saying they wanted to section you and then you would be able to appeal once you were sectioned. But strange, because like if that was to happen, if something happened where it made you more ill, you might not have been able to appeal.
Exactly.
Because, yeah.
And they will make you mad. If you're not mad before you go in, you're mad after. If you're not mad when you go in, you're mad when you come out. This is what the danger is.
Now, we've got some information here stating that they passed some of information about you on to another authority. What authorities?
No, that was when I was trying to get these notes, all these mistakes corrected, and they were treating it as a mental health problem.
Right.
When I wrote to my NP about it, they asked a psychiatrist to section me.
Right.
I wasn't free to write to my NP.
Yeah. And you was never given a copy of the letters you were
No, I was trying to
have
get
written.
copies,
Yeah.
and my solicitor wasn't allowed to see them, and my doctor wasn't allowed to see them. They expected him to take their word for it, what the letter said.
Okay, we're going to have more on that from